What's up, Bayley? And hello, welcome back to West Coast Pop. It is your boy, the final boss, and we're back once again for WrestleMania week with our third member of the Four Horsewomen, the hugger, the role model, the golden role model, if you will, the biggest 49ers fan, the woman representing the Yay area. That's right, it is Bayley. We are covering it all, from Davina Rose on the indies to Bayley Doe Straps on the main roster who carried the pandemic. We're going to go through her entire career. If you guys enjoy the series, make sure to rose plant that like button, Bayley to belly that subscribe button. We really appreciate all the support as we're going to keep getting these videos out to you guys. But for now, let's find out what it means to be the
to be a once-in-a-generation talent?
I was getting to that, Bayley. We're getting there. I'm not Michael Cole. We're getting there. We're going to talk about your accomplishments. Without further ado, this is the unbeatable, unconquerable Bayley. Ding dong. Hello. Let's start the video off right. In the land of NXT. First up on the list for her first championship in wrestling in August 2015, NXT TakeOver Brooklyn, Bayley and her best friend Sasha Banks put on not only the match of the night, not just the match of the year, not just the match of the decade, the match that kicked off the women's revolution, put a jetpack in the division, put a jetpack into booking, and sent them to the moon. I'm telling you, you can't make this up. You can't book it any better. The hugger Bayley, the biggest babyface in NXT at the time, took on her rival, her best friend, the heelish Sasha Banks, and they did not disappoint. This match stole it all. This was the culmination of the ultimate babyface storyline for Bayley in NXT, as she would lose to Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks turned on her. She would lose her title matches against Charlotte, against Becky. But now, on the run of her life, after coming back from injury from a broken hand, she defeated Charlotte, she defeated Becky, and now the main event was against Sasha. And we seen Bayley win the big one, and it was glorious. The atmosphere at the Barclays Center was unmatched. These two put on a show. We seen the Hurricane off the top rope. We seen the Bayley to belly for the victory. And these two girls worked and they put on a show. Now she's won the belt. What's left to do? You had the greatest women's match in NXT history, possibly WWE history. What do you do next? You run it back with your best friend at NXT TakeOver Rivals in an Iron Man match, and you steal the show once again. After going back and forth with the other four horsewomen, Bayley is finally on top of the division. And long may she reign on top of the division as she went to the main roster in 2017 and made an immediate impact, avenging her friend Sasha Banks' loss to Charlotte and avenging her two previous losses in NXT for the championship. She would finally defeat Charlotte for the Raw Women's Championship in February 2017, and with the Bayley to belly suplex, the Queen was dethroned. Some might say Sasha Banks helped her by smacking Charlotte in the face with a crutch, but this is the Bayley video. We won't take any slander. Bayley won fair and square. Charlotte, on this night, you got the L. Not to mention, Bayley would defeat Charlotte once again at the next pay-per-view Fastlane. And they say you're not the champion until you defend the belt. Not only did she defend the belt at Fastlane, she would walk into WrestleMania as Raw Women's Champion against Charlotte Flair, Sasha Banks, and Nia Jax, and she walked out just the same. Your Raw Women's Champion, the hugger Bayley, making her the first person to walk into WrestleMania as Raw Women's Champion and walk out retaining the title. So put some respect on the name, put some respect on her championship reign during this time, and while we're at it, let's put some respect on that elbow drop from the top rope that she did at WrestleMania to defeat Charlotte Flair and retain her belt. I mean, that form was picture perfect. That's one of the best elbow drops in the game today, and she wins championships with them. So if you find yourself looking at the stars, ding dong, hello, it's Bayley Savage from the top rope. Her first Raw Women's Championship led her to her first win at WrestleMania. Next up on the list, after years of being best friends off screen, but rivals on screen, we have the best friend group of Sasha Banks and Bayley, who were known as the Boss and Hug Connection, coming together for Elimination Chamber 2019 in a match that featured Nia Jax and Tamina, the Riot Squad, Peyton Royce and Billie Kay, and of course Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. A match that also included former SmackDown Women's Champions Carmella and Naomi on the same side. This was a great match that put the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships in a major spotlight in the Elimination Chamber. All teams shined, but one team stood above them all, and that was the Boss and Hug Connection, connecting with the titles and becoming your first ever, your inaugural WWE WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. Not only do you kick off the Women's Revolution with your best friend in the greatest match in NXT history, but you both come together and become the inaugural Tag Team Champions. I can't think of anything more iconic, any two women in WWE more deserving of the role model moniker. Shout out to Bayley and Sasha Banks, the Boss and Hug connection, Bay Monet if you will. They are and forever your first Women's Tag Team Champions. Next up on the list, taking 2019 by storm and laughing all the way to the Bayley in the Bank. Yes, I said it, you heard it correct. Cash your checks and open up your accounts. Bayley in the Bank is here. Money in the Bank 2019, Bayley competed against Ember Moon, Nikki Cross, Mandy Rose, Dana Brooke, Naomi, Natalya, and Carmella, who was a former Money in the Bank winner. But that couldn't stop Bayley from ascending to the top, even when Sonya Deville interfered and she grabbed what was hers. She grabbed the Money in the Bank briefcase, making history, doing what she told everybody she was going to do. What a great ladder match. What a way to shock the world. So in other words, Citibank, Bank of America, Chase Bank, don't matter. This is Bayley in the Bank. And at this bank, there's no 24-hour hold. There's no limit on your withdrawal. At this bank, you're gonna cash in and cash out the same damn night. So why wait? Get your platinum Bayley in the Bank MasterCard and cash in. And cash in she did. For our next entry in the list, Bayley in the Bank became the first ever WWE Women's Grand Slam champion. Now I know some might say Charlotte Flair has a stake in the claim, and hey, she might, but this is the Bayley video, so we're gonna give it to Bayley because WWE announced it, and she has the Grand Slam with the active championships. Those championships being the NXT Women's Championship, the Raw Women's Championship, the SmackDown Women's Championship, and the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. Not to mention, this is now the second time she's pinned Charlotte for a championship. So when it comes to wrestling, you can't talk winning without mentioning Bayley. We also got to mention once again, Bayley's form, her picture perfect form on that elbow drop. She does it again. Let's give it up for Bayley for cashing in on the same night, becoming a Triple Crown winner, a Grand Slam winner. And on this night, 3 of the 4 horsewomen were SmackDown Women's Champion. Becky walking in, Charlotte winning, and then Bayley cashing in. Next up on the list, and if you're used to these videos, you know what I'm about to say. If you do it once, you gotta do it twice. And twice she did. The hugger no more. She's now evolved into the golden role model. Bayley now the top heel in the company, the woman carrying the show. And trust me, if you were watching the pandemic era, you'll know Bayley was the main attraction on the show with her partner Sasha Banks. They were pure entertainment on both Raw and SmackDown, and throughout the pay-per-views. New hair, new attire, new persona, new number. Who this? Don't call her. She is working. And she beat the brakes off of Charlotte after brutalizing her Bayley buddies. Bayley is now on top of the world in her historic, longest reigning ever SmackDown Women's Championship run. She will never get enough credit for how great of a run this was. The role model was in her bag. This was the run of her career. Put her in the Hall of Fame. Your 2-time SmackDown Women's Champion. Your golden role model. Move over Bad Bunny. This is Bad Bayley, and she's on top. Next up on the list, Bad Bayley becomes Bayley Doe Straps. During her SmackDown Women's Championship run, she became, for the second time, a WWE Tag Team Champion with Sasha Banks. But ditch the Boss and Hug connection, we now have the Golden Role Models. And in May 2020, the Golden Role Models defeat Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. And together, 2 belts, Banks and Bayley Doe Straps, held all the gold in WWE and became the most dominant force in women's wrestling, period. There was no one better than this Hall of Fame duo. They terrorized Michael Cole. Bayley walked into WrestleMania SmackDown Women's Champion and walked out, and then added some more gold on top with her best friend. Like, what are we talking about here? This is a Hall of Famer right here. I didn't even talk about how great her new theme song is. I dare you to find someone who had a better 2020 than Bayley, the 2-time Slammy winner, the superstar of the year. When the world went crazy, Bayley took over the world and became the greatest SmackDown Women's Champion in history. Now play her music and let's end this thing in style. In all, Bayley is an NXT Women's Champion, WWE Raw Women's Champion, 2-time WWE SmackDown Women's Champion, 2-time WWE Tag Team Champion, Money in the Bank winner, 2015 Match of the Year, 2015 Wrestler of the Year. It doesn't get any better than that, doesn't get any bigger than that. But Bayley is not done. Bayley is not finished. She's going to be in WrestleMania this year. Check the numbers, check the list. Who has a better WrestleMania record than Bayley? She shows up, she shows out. She walked in as Raw Women's Champion, SmackDown Women's Champion, and walked out still with the titles. This year, for the first time, she's walking in as a leader of her own faction with Damage Control, Io Sky, and Dakota Kai. But when this video comes out, let us know in the comments if the role model led her team to victory. Let us know in the comments also who you want to see next in the Every Champion series and which championship will Bayley win next. But for now, this has been Every World Championship won by Bayley. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We got more videos for you coming, man, in the series. We got the podcast every Sunday. And by the time this video comes out, it will be WrestleMania week. So check in with your boys. We got a whole lot of coverage because we're going to Mania. We'll hope to see some of you there. We'll hope to see some of you guys in the next video. And once again, for the final time in this video, let's give a big shout out to the woman representing the Bay Area strong, the golden role model herself. Ding dong, it's the Hall of Fame. It is Bayley, your greatest SmackDown Women's Champion in history, who carried the pandemic on 3 brands with 2 belts. You can't beat that, and you can't beat her run as SmackDown Women's Champion. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace out, y'all.